that in mind. You are somebody special for us, and you have to do something special for us. That you have to make sure that through your work, through your behavior, through what you do, you really enrich the brand of this institution, which of course obviously rubs off to you as a product of this institution. I mentioned work, keeping up with knowledge, not getting obsolete, doing well, innovating, but I do want to reiterate one point which was made by Professor Jagoti, and this is the whole aspect of integrity. Today, probably more than ever before, there is a temptation to take shortcuts, to do something quickly, to bend the rules just that little bit, to say that I'm not really breaking the rule, I'm just pushing it. And I think you've been educated here, I'm sure learned from home, that you don't do that. You stick within the framework, you stick within the rules, and you stick within your values of integrity. This is key. This is key. It's important by itself. It's something you must do for its own sake. But also I want to tell you that's important in your career, because at some point of time, the kind of shortcut which Pankaj mentioned might get you there faster, but very soon that will get found out. And then you're going to lose a great deal more than what you might gain. So integrity and basic values are critically important as you go into your work life. Keep those in mind and go forward. A final word to the graduating students. I talked about the institute, your responsibility to this institution and what you drew from it, the possibility that you might come back here and we would welcome you, and what you might do here. But I also want to say that keep in mind somebody who's probably made a lot of sacrifices to get you to this institution, to see you through your education, and that is your parents and guardians. Spare a thought for them. I know most of you will do so, but I do want to reiterate that in this day when many of them may be here, that they are the ones who are as proud or prouder than you today as you graduate from here. And do spare a thought for what they have done to get you where you are, and see what you might do for them, just as you would do for this institute. With that, I want to wish the graduating students the very best. I'm absolutely sure that you're going to do extremely well for yourselves and bring glory to this institution. So all the best to you as you go forward. As I invite our chief guest to address us, I just want to say a few words about him. Professor Dinesh Singh, as you all know, is the Vice Chancellor of Delhi University. He's got a huge number of academic credits to his name, and I won't mention them all. He is, as you would all know, a very, very eminent academic in the field of mathematics. He's been teaching mathematics for many, many, many years with great passion and great success. He is also on the faculty of the University of Houston. He's somebody who set up many years back, that's when I might mention I first met him on a personal note, a mathematical sciences foundation, which is looking at how do you make mathematics teaching better and get more people interested in mathematics. He's done some outstanding work in that area, which many of you who might know him as a mathematician may not know. He's done this tremendous work for school children to see how do you ensure that school children, who often have this fear of mathematics, that's taken out of them. Mathematics is made fun, they learn in a nice way, and they go ahead with that. And I think, to me, that is Professor Dinesh Singh's exceptional contribution for the future generations. He has many other accolades to his name. The government counts on him for many, many things. He's been a member of the Scientific Advisory Council to the Cabinet. He continues to advise the government in a whole host of areas of education and some beyond that. He is incidentally a painter. I know that somehow mathematics and music is often seen together, but he's probably has some musical interests also, which I'm not aware of, but I know he's a painter, and I think his artistic thing is often seen. He's done a solo exhibition of his paintings too. He is somebody who's introduced a breath of fresh air into an old institution, very respected institution, but an old institution that was somewhat ossifying, which is Delhi University. And he's brought in not only fresh air, but dynamic change, and created a lot of furore which you would have seen in the media. But that comes when you want to make change. And I think for those of you, and I mention all this as lessons which those of you who are graduating and young students might take away, that when, like Professor Dinesh Singh, you want to do something dynamic, you want to do something new, you want to do something innovative, you will get challenges and you will get resistance. And I think the lesson to take from him is to see how he's persisted with what he's seen as being sure. He's been open, he's listened to a lot of views, but he's taken forward his concept of the changes that are necessary and brought about dramatic and very important changes in Delhi University, which I'm absolutely certain are going to have ripple effects in the whole higher education system around the country. It's an exceptional pleasure to have him here. I want to particularly thank him because, as all of you know, he's come here at very short notice. We were hoping, and that was what we had earlier, to get Dr. Sam Pitroda. He is, and I might mention, though probably most of you know this, down with a bad bout of food poisoning. He's recovering. I'm glad he's well, but he had to drop out. And Professor Dinesh Singh, always our supporter and a very dear friend for a long time, kindly agreed to come. And I'm very delighted he's there. Couldn't be anybody more appropriate to talk with us today and share his thoughts. So it's a great pleasure to invite you, Dinesh, to say a few words to us and our faculty.
Chairman of the Board of Governors, Mr. Kiran Karnik, Director, Professor Pankaj Jalote, faculty of this nascent, young, vibrant institution, graduating students and parents. I'm delighted to be present here today for many reasons. It's an honor to be here on any occasion. I have watched this institution from its very inception, and I have envied its growth, its trajectory of rise. I believe this institution has set benchmarks that are important for the rest of the country and other institutions in other parts of the world to pay attention to. I am also aware of the personalities involved in this story. And today is particularly a day of happy coincidences, some a cause of concern as well, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. Long ago, when I was a school child, I had seen a Hindi movie whose name I forget, but I remember a lyric from the movie which ran something like this: Zindagi ittifaq hai. And when I look back at not just my own life, but generally lives of people I have known or admired, you do get the impression that life does look like a series of coincidences, some happy, some of concern, but a series of coincidences. Today I am here to replace a man, and I speak of Mr. Sam Pitroda, who has been a mentor for me for many years and whom I have admired for all kinds of reasons. I know that I will not be able to fill his shoes, and I'm concerned that he's not well, but I'm also conscious that maybe he would be happy to know that I tried to do my best to make up for his absence. There are other coincidences involved here. Mr. Kiran Karnik has also been a kind of mentor for me for many years. When I set forth in my journey in life and I had certain beliefs and causes that I believed in, there were not many who were willing to look at or pay attention to what I wanted to do. I had some very close colleagues who were on this journey with me, and we kept our heads down, lent our shoulders to the tasks that we believed in, but there were times when we felt that we were not getting anywhere. And then, out of the blue came Mr. Kiran Karnik. And he not only supported our endeavor, he encouraged us, he inspired us, he showed us the way. And if we were able to do something, it was largely because of him. Very modestly, he will never tell anyone about the role that he played in our own modest achievements. But it was significant, and we became close friends. And I've always looked up to him, and I pay attention to everything he does. And so, that coincidence of getting to know him, getting his support, advice, wisdom, has somehow also brought me here. The third person that I wish to discuss is the director, Dr. Pankaj Jalote, whom also I got to know through a coincidence, a mutual friend, who once invited Pankaj and I to a brainstorming session on education. That's the first time I confess I came to know Pankaj, and I was very impressed by his demeanor, by his insights. And I followed what he has been trying to do. When he tried to set up this institute, I knew that it would succeed because I saw that the wise Kiran Karnik was here, a man who has helped create so many institutions in India, and Pankaj's own vision and dynamism and energy. I knew it was going to succeed. And you know, it generated enormous envy in me. Because I wanted to do something like that myself. I'm so delighted that today all these coincidences have brought me here to talk to young minds. And they are primarily my audience today. I also want to confess at the beginning that do not expect any great words of wisdom. You know, I'm a married man, and one of the first things a man learns very soon after marriage, that the center of gravity of wisdom in the family lies elsewhere. And I'm very conscious of that, and I get reminded about it both in the morning and late at night. So do not expect too much wisdom from me. But you know, I believe that wisdom is a comb that life gives you after you've lost your hair. And I carry wisdom of sources, some of whom, as I said, are present in this room, some were to be present, and some others from whom I have acquired second-hand wisdom. And I may have lost my hair, that wisdom may be of no use to me now, but I pass that comb on to you, because the strands of your life are about to unfold, and you should use that comb well. So take it as a collective benediction, a collective wisdom that is now being sourced to you. This is an institution of education. I think we should try and understand what is education. I am a mathematician, and you cannot build a single mathematical structure until you have your definition in place. Unless you have a clear, concise, precise definition, you won't know what you're trying to do and why. And I believe it's important to understand and define education. To my mind, education is a journey, a lifelong journey to discover your own self. It's a personal journey. You have to delve within, find out who you are. Atma Gyan, that's the word. Khud ko pehchanna. Ek antar dhwani, listen to that drum beat within. If you can hark to that drum beat, if you can recognize it, then you've understood a little bit. You will be called a person who is in the process of being educated if you not only recognize that drumbeat,